Today I would like us to talk about, actually, I'll talk about my life, but I would like you to think about your life as we go through this message. And I would really like you to contemplate on it. To what extent do you really engage God in your life, and to what extent you just live on your own without Him? The idea of an adventure is not really appealing to most people. The idea of an adventure is appealing to kids. You tell kids, we're going on an adventure. What are kids going to do? Yeah, we're going on an adventure, let's go. They don't ask, they just want to go on an adventure. You tell adults, we're going on an adventure. Wait. Okay, there's one kid at heart. That is nice. Most of everybody is like, wait. Let me see if it's going to fit in my schedule. I'm not sure I can do it this time. Are we going to have gluten-free snacks? I am not sure that I have shoes for this, and so on. Like, the more we grow, less adventurous we are. Or let's put it this way, the more we grow, less wonder we seek in life. The more we grow, more stability and safety and reasonableness is that we seek in life, because, well, that's how life is, you know. Yeah, it's so awesome when you're young and you're full of energy and you have unlimited amount of time, and then, yeah, let's go on an adventure. But now I got to pay my bills. I have my kids to feed. I have plans. I have this and that. And how many times, let me ask you this, you adults, how many times you got excited about canceled plans? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, we're not going to meet tomorrow. Oh, too bad. Been there, right? That is how a life of an adult is. And that life, in all honesty, sucks. We try to justify it in so many different ways, to explain it and to say that, well, you know what, that's life. But the matter of fact is that we choose to live a boring life. We choose to live a life where adventure is something that happens on Sundays once a month between 4 and 5 p.m., preferably 4 and 4:30. We are not adventurous people. The moment we kind of cross the age of, like, I don't know, maybe 23, 24, I'm not really sure. You know why most adults love to watch princess movies? What is your favorite princess movie? I love Tangled. Tangled is so awesome. Like, I can watch that again and again. Huh? Princess Bride, yes. Oh my goodness, the classic. But why do adults love to watch princess movies? It's not because they like to watch princess movies. It's because most of adults have not been happy since the age of 12. You know? And then this is the opportunity to kind of rekindle, like, this moment of how life can be an adventure. Today, I want to challenge you to start living an adventurous life. Because here's the thing. God intended us to live an adventurous life. God did not imagine us to live 9 to 5, pay our bills, cheat on our taxes, and die. He had a different idea. And we know all of these stories from the Bible about people who experienced these amazing adventures. And we read about them, and that's so awesome, but that's never going to happen to me. Not because you don't have an opportunity, but because you deliberately choose not to take those opportunities. So let's talk a little bit about what marks an adventure altogether. First thing that marks an adventure is the idea of embracing unknown, doing things that are out of the ordinary. How many of you get excited about the unknown? That's what I thought, 2 hands. That's it. Everybody's like, no, I'd really like to know the itinerary before I step in. Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 4. Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. Where is that at? Don't worry about that. TBA, we'll work on it. But here is what you're going to get. You're not just going on an adventure that you don't know what's coming. There is a treasure there. There is a treasure that you're going to find on your adventure. And I will make of you a great nation. And I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. Not that you will just receive a blessing, you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Did Abram go on an adventure? Yes. And Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old. Jackie, you hear that? You hear that? He was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. I guess 70s play a role. He didn't doubt. I don't know if that plays a role here or not. But the matter of fact is that God is calling him on an adventure. And the adventure starts with, come on, let's go. Go where? Don't you worry about that. We'll figure that out on the way. This is the part that we have hard times dealing with. This is the part that it's so hard to swallow, that we don't know where God is taking us. We thrive on knowing the plan. We thrive on understanding what is going to happen tomorrow. We have all of these plans. We have everything figured out. Tell me, do you have a plan for next week? Do you have a plan for next month? Do you have a plan for this whole year? I bet you do. If you don't, well, okay, we got to talk about responsibilities. But we do that. It's natural. We're constantly taught that that's the way life is supposed to be lived. The more things you can predict, better life you're going to have. And over here, God argues differently. God says, no, forget predicting. Forget expectations. Yeah, make your plans. That's okay. But stop expecting everything to pan out the way you planned, because here's the thing. The moment you come to God and say, God, these are my plans, help me make them happen, you box yourself into this small little box of known. And you don't allow God to take you on an adventure that is going to amazingly change your life. Not just your life, but life of people around you. Wanting to know and wanting to make sure that things are going to happen the way we think they are supposed to happen simply locks God out. Locks God out, and he can't do anything for you anymore because you are set. But look at Abram at a time. He would go. Where are you going? I don't know. Just imagine his dad. Abram, you're going on a trip. You're packing all of your stuff. You're selling your house. You have everything in the RV. You're even taking your brother with you. Like, where are you guys going? I don't know. Sit down. We got to talk about it. No. I know that I don't know, and I'm okay that I don't know where I'm going. We are not okay when we don't know. But the adventure with God starts right there, when you don't know and you are going anyways. And sometimes these things happen in most peculiar ways. Sometimes you meet somebody and you're invited to a place you've never been to and you feel uncomfortable because you don't know. Go. Sometimes you get a job offer that is going to completely rearrange your life. Go for it, especially if you prayed and asked God to open the doors for that. Sometimes you meet you're praying to God to meet a person, and you meet a person, that person is everything you didn't expect. They are. Go for it. You got to go for it. Just like Abraham did. What else marks an adventure? Another very important thing that marks an adventure beside embracing the unknown is breaking the status quo, is disturbing routines. Routines is what makes us boring. Yes, routines keep us balanced. Routines keep us using less energy to achieve more work and so on. But also, if we give ourselves way too much in the routines, they make our life boring. And I'll take an example of Moses. So, Exodus chapter 3, verses 10 to 12. God talks to Moses, "Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt." But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt?" And he said, "But I will be with you. And this shall be the sign for you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Israel, you shall serve God on this mountain." Moses is being sent to disturb status quo. God takes Moses, and here's the thing, Moses was even older. Moses was 80 years old at this point. He was ready for a retirement. He was done. He was, for 40 years, he was this big government official. Then he committed a treason, and he escaped. And then for the next 40 years of his life, he was a shepherd, kind of smoothing in everything, getting ready to relax for the rest of his life. And then God comes and tells you, no, I have a job for you, Moses. We are going on an adventure. And Moses like seriously, come on, you waited this long. I can't, this and that. He had so many reasons not to go on this adventure with God. But God tells him, no, I need you to break your routines. I need you to break your routines so you can break the routines of my people. And look at the people of Israel. 400 years they lived in Egypt. They almost forgot who they were. If the Egyptians weren't oppressing them, they wouldn't even remember to cry to God for help. And Moses comes just to realize that it's almost hard to discern who are the people of God and who are Egyptians, because they lived for so long together that their routines became the routines of the world that they were in. God calls you to break your routines. God calls you to disturb your status quo. Are you hanging out with people who are making you feel that nothing really happens in your life? Have you gotten this compliment from a person that didn't see you in like a year or two? Dude, you didn't change one bit. That is the worst possible insult I can imagine somebody gives me. Like, if I did not change one bit, I wasted these years of my life since the last time you saw me. But that's what happens when we get accustomed to our routines that make us comfortable and easy, and then we sit into this, this status quo that we created, and we just kind of live without any changes. God wants you to embrace unknown, but He also wants you to look at your life right now and say, okay, these routines that I have, they're killing me. Are you happy with your routines? Not are you satisfied with them. Routines make us satisfied, but are you happy? Are you really, truly happy with the routines of your life? Because here's the thing. Sometimes we feel that we are trapped by our routines. Well, there is no way out right now. I can't go back. I have mortgage to pay. I have kids to raise. I have stuff to do. You know, these routines. I mean, that is my life right now. That is not the truth. That is not truth whatsoever. No matter where you are in life, no matter what you're dealing with, you try to break the status quo, God is going to step in. He's sitting on the sidelines, waiting for you to start doing something differently. something differently that will give him the glory, that will make a difference in your life and make a difference in life of people around you. And then he starts acting. We ask ourselves so many times, like, why are there no miracles in my life? I hear other people read in the newspaper, see these YouTube videos about these amazing things that God does. Why is it not happening to me? Because you're boring. Because you're boring to God. With your routines, with your safety, with your known things. God would wish to take you on an adventure. But the first step is yours. To step out of the boredom of routines. The third thing that marks an adventurous life, that God can turn into something amazing, is leaving your comfort zone. Stepping away from your safety net. How many of you have, and I really hope everybody's going to raise your hand. I really hope for this. How many of you have a 3-month emergency fund in your savings account? Okay, geez, we're going to have Dave Ramsey come here in person and talk to everybody. Why do we build emergency funds? If I get sick, if I lose my job, if God forbid, something bad happens and I can't make money, I have to be able to pay the bills. I have to make sure that I have this safety net. I have to maintain this comfort zone until I figure things out. Granted, the fact that only a handful of you raised your hand is not strange. More than 90% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So having an emergency fund is not really common as it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, I mean like 100 years ago, when nobody had a debt. But the matter of fact is, in order for us to be able to allow God to turn our life into an adventure, we have to leave our little comfort zones. How many of you work just because you have to pay the bills? And this is not something, okay, I didn't expect raising your hands, but okay, I appreciate the honesty. Just contemplate on it. How many of you simply work, you don't necessarily enjoy that time that you spend at work. You don't enjoy those 8 to 10 hours that you spend, but you simply do it because you have to pay the bills. Because, well, it's a comfort zone. I would really love to do something else, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. I would like to open my own business, but it's so much uncertainty in there. I don't have my emergency fund to the point where I can risk 3 months and actually try to do it. And then we stay into our comfort zones. And all that God wants for you is to try, to pursue that dream that He planted into you. Matthew chapter 4, verses 19 and 20. And He said to them, Jesus talking to His disciples, "Follow me, and I will make you the fishers of men." And immediately they left their nets and followed Him. Oh, and walking by the Sea of Galilee, I skipped that part. He saw 2 brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting nets into the sea, for they were fishermen. And then He invites them, tells them to follow Him. This is what He is telling them. And then after that, He did the same with James and John, who were actually doing the same thing with their father, sitting and mending nets. He tells them, listen guys, I want you to leave the security of your jobs, and I want you to do something for this world. I want you to be more than who you are right now. We're going to use your set of skills that you have, but these set of skills are going to change the world, not just pay the bills. And these guys could have blown Him off easily. Like, what? Peter was married. We don't know if he had kids, but he definitely had a wife and a mother-in-law. So he had mouths to feed. He had mouths. He had people to take care. He had somebody who was depending on him. He couldn't just walk away. And yet he walked away. James and John, sitting with their father, eventually they're supposed to take over the family business. They're supposed to grow it. And his father is watching them walking away. They leave their legacy behind for a greater legacy to create. But they had to step outside of their comfort zones. What are your comfort zones? Somebody's just, as I mentioned, maybe you have a bad job, but it pays the bills. Maybe you are in an abusive relationship, but at least you're not alone. Maybe you have a bad set of friends you hang out with, but at least you're not binging on Netflix all on your own. You know, all of us have a safety net. All of us have this comfort zone that keeps us shrinked and small and safe. Safety net and comfort zones are places where dreams die. And trust me, those dreams that you have of life, they're imparted into your being by the one who made you. Life can be an amazing adventure if you're willing to embrace the unknown and jump into it. If you're willing to break the status quo and your routines, and if you're willing to leave your comfort zone and abandon your safety net in order to try something that you always wanted. One thing happens when you start doing this. And this is how you will know if your life is an adventurous life or not. Changing the world around you and being changed forever. Paul is on the road to Damascus. He put everything he's got into serving the Lord. Everything he is, with all of his being, he's burning with hatred for these Christians. He's imprisoning them. He's hunting them down. He's killing them. He's doing this all for God's glory. And then Jesus intercepts him. And he's like, Paul, Saul, actually at the time he was still Saul. Saul, why are you persecuting me? And Saul is like, who are you, Lord, that I'm persecuting you? It's me, Jesus. And Saul realizes he was on the wrong side all along. And then God sends a man to baptize Saul. He says, okay, go there and there you're going to find Saul. He's waiting for you to get baptized. And Ananias freaks out like, no, I'm not going to hit that. That's a trap. Like, Lord, you're up there. Even you know that that's a trap. That man is that man is a bad man. And then the Lord says to Ananias, for the Lord said to him, go, for he is a chosen instrument of mine to carry my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. You, if you believe in God, if you want to engage God into your life, you are a chosen instrument of change. You are not intended to live a life solely for yourself. Yeah, you can. A lot of people do. A lot of people are perfectly content into making money, spending money, dying with the most toys. But not you. Not you, my friends. You're an instrument of change that is going to change this world. And in that process, you will forever be changed. But for that, you have to go on an adventure with God. For that, you have to look at your life and everything that is dissatisfying and decide to step away and decide to pursue what fills your soul. Otherwise, the time will come when you'll fade away into a time of insignificance, looking back. Probably in this past 1 year of being a pastor, I was on maybe like a dozen of deathbeds. And most things that I remember, and this is not, I mean, you hear this quote all the time, but I saw it in person. Most things that people regret on their deathbeds is not what they did, but what they didn't do. Safety is going to make you be well-preserved corpse when you die. You know? Adventure is going to ding you up. Adventure is going to make scuffs and dents. And adventure is going to make you bleed. Adventure is going to hurt. Oh, yeah. But you will never feel more alive when you are on this adventure of unknown with God than you feel alive right now. Look at Abraham. Look at what he did. How many mistakes he made. He kept, and he did repeated mistakes. He's like, he goes to Egypt and he freaks out that they're going to kill him. So he tells the Pharaoh, Sarah, yeah, that's my sister. And Pharaoh is like, wow, you have a hot sister. Jeez, give me her number. You know? So he takes his quote-unquote sister on a date, and God is like, you are not going to touch her. And God starts inflicting the people which suffer. And Pharaoh is a wise man. He realizes what happened. He comes back to Abram. Like, why did you do this to me, dude? Like, couldn't you just like, well, I freaked out. I'm sorry. Yeah. So 20 years later, Abraham is back into Egypt. And God is like, come on, don't tell them she's your sister. Don't tell them she's my sister. Yeah. Like, dude, when are you going to learn your lessons? But that is part of an adventure. You make mistakes, you bleed, you have scars to remind you, and then you make that mistake one more time just in case, you know? But if he never took a trip, he would have never experienced these things. Look at Moses. Moses made one mistake, and he lost a ticket to Promised Land. He made one mistake, and God is like, dude, I'm sorry, like, you can't go in. Like, you can take them to the Promised Land, but you can't go in. Like, that was harsh. But that is part of an adventure. You never know where is it going to take you. You have a general idea of a direction and some vision of a goal, but you don't know where is life going to take you. All you know is that in this process, you're going to grow and become something so much bigger than you are right now. Okay, everybody get up. Come on. Stand on your feet, please, if you can. No pressure. Okay, love you guys. You can sit down. Oh, I heard that. Oh. Now, I just took you on a brief adventure, and you went with me all the way, and I thank you for that. This was awesome. But here's the thing. Are you awake now? Excellent. All right. I saw some of you like okay, I gotta do something about it. All right. The second part of this sermon, I would like us to talk about the tools of an adventure. I would like us to talk about the things that we need for this adventure. First one is trusting God in the unknown. And here is why. unknown comes to you whether you like it or not. Do you know what are you going to have for lunch today? You might have a good guess. You maybe prepared food at home. You maybe have a plan to meet at the restaurant and so on. But you really don't know. Even your lunch today is an unknown to you. It's not that much of a big deal, you know, but you don't know what is tomorrow going to bring you. You know, you don't know if tomorrow you're going to get a promotion or get fired. You don't know if tomorrow your spouse might tell you, I'm pregnant or I'm leaving you. You don't know what is bringing. You don't know what tomorrow is bringing. But what you know for sure is that you have somebody who does know what tomorrow brings. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in God in the unknown. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Now here's the thing. You can't control what's going to happen in your life, but He can. Now, that doesn't mean that you should relinquish control of your life over to, oh God, you lead me. No, no, no. That's not the point. The point is that you know that if you lose control, or if you make a wrong turn, you know that you're not on your own in it. You know that God can take it and get the best out of it. And He will do that if you are willing to take a risk of diving into the unknown, jumping into the unknown. The adventure ends the moment you know what's going to happen. You know when you watch a rerun of a movie and you know the ending. How excited are you about the ending? You're never as excited about the ending of a movie as you were the first time you watched it. Life is the same. Like, if you know what's coming, the joy of life diminishes. But if you're willing to engage into something, not knowing where is that going to take you, oh yeah, the fear and the tremble are going to kick in like crazy. But trust me, oh, the joy and exhilaration of life are going to go through the roof. You're going to be feeling more alive than ever when you are on a path that you don't know than on a path that you do know. It's always like that. For whatever reason, God wired us this way. He wanted us to find this pleasure because He is in the unknown. And here's what happens. You might find God in the known aspects of your life, but you will definitely find Him in the unknown ones. Second tool that you need is courage and strength in challenges. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua was freaking out at this point. So Moses has died. Moses was the leader of the people for 40 years. Everybody knew Moses, and God now takes Joshua and tells him, okay, you're about to take over. And he's like, I'm going to fill his shoes like I'm screwed. Like there is no way I can do this. And Joshua is already of age. Joshua is in his 80s as well. You know, he went all the way through the desert and everything. People respected him and loved him. But he did not see himself as the one who is fit for this adventurous life. And then God tells him, you know what? Don't be afraid. Be courageous. Why? Because I'm with you. Be courageous with this opportunity in your life. Be courageous with changing the things that are tearing you down. Be courageous with stepping away from relationships that are diminishing your personality and who you are. Be courageous from drawing the lines and setting the boundaries and then respecting them. Even if you're bashed, even if you're ridiculed, even if you're left. Because I am with you. but be courageous about life. Courage is nothing else but a fear that has said its prayers. That's all. All of us are afraid, and fear is natural. But once you pray, the fear diminishes, because you know that whatever comes is going to be more amazing than I could have ever done it on my own by myself. The third tool that you need for an adventurous life is seeking new experiences and growth. The older we are, less we are willing to seek these new experiences. Solomon says in Ecclesiastes, he says, cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days you will find it again. Now, when you read this verse, it doesn't tell you much. It's a figure of speech in Hebrew language. Essentially, what Solomon is trying to say, don't be afraid to invest whatever livelihood you have and risk it, because it will come back to you with an interest when the time comes. Don't be afraid to do what is right in life, even if it hurts you right now, because it will be paid back to you as when you need it most. I'll share this with you. So, one thing that I've been doing as a pastor, and this is so amazing to me because it's so vividly has been happening in the past couple of months in my life. So one thing that I've been doing is anytime somebody would come to me, especially younger people, asking for an advice, trying to understand whatever is happening in their lives, where is God, I would really take the time. I would really take the time and energy and investment to try to find the answers, to try to help them find the answers. I've been doing this for years. There are numerous people that would take hours and hours and hours of my life because I really wanted to help them in their confusions, in their darkness, in their questions, to find and understand God. So this last year, I got to the point of doubt. I got to the point of not understanding things, questioning and wondering things about my life. And one after another, God started bringing people in my life, people who either went through the situations that I was dealing with, or they know somebody close to their heart who experienced that. And I received so much clarity without even asking. I had so many people taking hours out of their lives to help me figure out my questions, that right now, looking back, without these people, I would be lost in many things that I've been trying to figure out in the past, let's say, 6 to 8 months of my life. I'm telling you guys this. Seek new experiences. Risk. Take risk. Do the right thing. Even if it's politically incorrect. Speak the right words, even if they might call other people out. But do the thing that is going to mark what is right. And it will pay back to you. That is a guarantee. I experienced it. Don't just sit safely in your shell and wait for some little things to happen here and there. No, step out. And the last tool that I really think we need to be aware of every single day. Life is a pilgrimage. Hebrews 13:14. For here we do not have an enduring city, but we are looking for the city that is to come. The writer of Hebrews is trying to say, don't look to Rome. Look to Jerusalem that is not even here yet. And what I want you to be aware of is this. Remember where your home is. Remember that this place is not our home. We are not to build our heritage here in this life, on this planet. This life is a journey. Every step in this life is a journey in which you grow and become bigger and better and on the way home. And I want you to remember this sentence. I heard it some time ago and it stuck to my heart. Every one of us are walking each other home. So be gracious with people. Be compassionate. Be loving. You don't know what somebody else's walk looks like. All you know is your own. But all of us are headed to the same place. All of us are headed home in the arms of God. And this life is just an opportunity for us to experiment, to have fun, to enjoy, to seek growth, to seek new myself, and in the process be a blessing to the world around me. You see, that's another thing that I got a lot from these people who I thought were helping me so much. Like in these earnest talks we had, I would get so many times like, seriously, this helped me so much as I was helping you. And you can be a blessing to your world, much more than you think that you are right now. But you have to remember that your life, the real life that you live it by faith, not by sight. Life starts when you start living by faith. If you can see it, it's already boring. If you can see it, you don't need God. You can do it on your own. But if you choose to live a life and risk it, if you choose to live a life in which you're going to trust God, in which you're going to embrace challenges instead of running away from them, in which you're going to try to step into the unknown rather than into the known, in which you're going to seek the purpose that God has for you, not just the benefits that you can create in your life. Oh, I'm telling you, He is going to make your life in an adventure that you are going to remember and that you will never want to leave. So I challenge you now. Think about your life. Are you bored? Are you overwhelmed? Are you ready for a change? Do you feel that you need a change? All of those things are nudges of the Spirit telling you to step out in faith and live in faith and see where it takes you and learn from those steps and grow and have a life out of the ordinary, a life that will be a blessing to God, to people around you, and to you. That is my challenge for you, my friends. May this be your new lifestyle. Amen.